In the book, you talk about the prophet Daniel at length and his prophecies. Daniel laid out 4 kingdoms that were a blueprint for the nations of the world. Now, we're talking about Earth's last empire, but in the meantime, what were those 4 kingdoms that Daniel laid out, and where are we right now with what Daniel saw?
Daniel is called the Prince of Prophets because Daniel is the only prophet that God showed the whole picture to. Daniel had been captured by the Babylonians as probably a teenager, 18 years of age, maybe as old as 20, but it was brought to Babylon.
And this is under Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonian king.
The Babylonian kingdom under Nebuchadnezzar. And he was the head of gold. And there's no doubt about who it is because God told him, Nebuchadnezzar is that head of gold. It's not guesswork. That was followed by the Medo-Persian Empire, where the arms are crossed. It was silver, one arm over the other, indicating the strength of the Medes over that of the Persians.
And they had conquered the Babylonians.
Absolutely. And they saw Daniel, and he went to work for them.
That's right. Yeah.
The third empire was the Grecian Empire of Alexander the Great. In the 7th chapter, it's represented as the animal that had 4 heads and 8 wings.
Yeah.
The 4 heads being the 4 generals of Alexander's empire.
Ptolemy.
The 4th empire is the Roman Empire. It had 2 legs, an eastern and western division with 10 toes, and those 10 toes represent the 10 nations of the New World Order that's going to be led in the immediate future by the Antichrist, and I call them in the book the government of 10.
And we're talking about today.
We are talking about today. The point we're making here that God showed Daniel exactly what was going to happen from the day of Babylon until the very end of the Western world as we know it. And he's talking about the hand, the stone that was made cut without hands, which was Jesus Christ, the cornerstone, that crushed the image. It was ground to face powder, and those 10 kingdoms were pulverized as Jesus Christ sets up Earth's last empire, the final Game of Thrones.
One of the other themes in the book is you really take it from the beginning of the church fathers even until today with the Iranian regime and others and replacement theology, the ugly legacy of anti-Semitism. You really go in detail. People will be shocked to know some of the church fathers who have been revered over the centuries were really virulent anti-Semites.
Anti-Semitism is sin, and as sin, it damns the soul. Anti-Semitism is the hatred of the Jewish people in word or deed because they are Jewish people. Anti-Semitism has been given many names, but in the final analysis, it is anti-Semitism. It is exploding in Europe right now. Corbyn is getting ready to run for prime minister.
In Great Britain, the Labour Party?
Absolutely. He is a radical anti-Semite. Anti-Semitism is exploding in the colleges and universities of the United States of America right now. Anti-Semitism is something that is going to have its judgment day because God very clearly says in Matthew 25, his day of judgment is coming for everyone that has abused the Jewish people, has practiced anti-Semitism.
Pastor, taking it back up to the modern day, you and I were on the Syria border recently, the Israel-Syria border on the Golan Heights. Wow, it seems like Syria right now is a real epicenter for maybe a war to come.
Here is just a snapshot of the Middle East right now. Israel is being surrounded by bad nations that want to destroy them. Iran, thanks to Donald Trump, does not have nearly the force that it did have because Donald Trump is taking away their funding. But Russia is supporting Iran, and Iran has 2 proxy armies on the border of Israel, which is Hezbollah and Hamas. I believe that Israel is soon going to face the fact that they, like the 6-Day War, are going to have to choose a first option military strike. That's when the American people need to be supportive of Israel, because you know the media is going to run over to a house that was bombed. They will not tell you that the terrorists were there shooting rockets. They'll just tell you the sad story. But the fact is, Israel is still the apple of God's eye. Israel has the right to exist. They have the right to secure borders. They have the right to the land that God gave them. They don't occupy the land, they own that land by the providence of God.
Thanks again to Pastor John Hagee for those incredible insights. Again, the book is called Earth's Last Empire, The Final Game of Thrones, and you can pick it up wherever books are sold. Well, up next, see the award-winning film produced by Kufai's Israel Collective that has everyone talking. This is powerful stuff, folks. You will not want to miss it. Stick around.